Okay, y'all, let's talk about Where There's Smoke by Aricka Alexander. And if you can't tell by the way I'm already smiling, this was a hit. Okay, I absolutely love this from page one. From the jump. This I was like, this is my type of story. I'm gonna eat this up. And that I did. Now hear me out. Hear me out. This was insta love. Yes, it was. It was insta love. But that didn't bother me. It didn't. And that's surprising to me because I mean, I'm not an insta love hater, but it just doesn't compute in my brain because there's no way that, I need to know you before the love feelings can happen. And so I just be a little side eyeing and like questioning when it comes to insta love. But I believed the couple in this book. I believe them. Phoenix and what's his name? What is her name? Ooh, Angel. Phoenix and Angel. Yeah, I believed them. I believed them. I did. And I really enjoyed their relationship dynamic and just how obsessed they were with each other. Like, yeah, like it wasn't like one person was more obsessed. No, they were equally obsessed and down bad for each other. And I loved every second of it. Some things in this book were very predictable and you could just kind of see them lining up as they happen. But honestly, like I don't go into romance books for plot twists. So I was okay with it. Like I like romances kind of because they are predictable. They're going to follow a set storyline and that does not bother me. That gives me comfort. That is why I really am it's one of my favorite genres. Like, yeah, I know what I'm getting most of the time. So there was like this major incident in this book and afterwards Angel kind of was very over dramatic to me. And as a maybe kind of a little bit sometimes dramatic person myself, if I'm saying something is over dramatic, sis was giving it. She was giving it. And I'm like, come on now, you ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to do all of that. Bring it back down. Bring it back down. And I mean, she did eventually, but it took her a second to get there. And I'm like, come on, sis. Come on, you can do it. I really enjoyed Aricka Alexander's writing, and it just made it very easy to fly through this story. Other than the fact that I was eating it up, I like the way that she wrote this. It was we were here, and even though I feel like the progression of this relationship was absolutely ridiculous, and the speed at which with I can't even get it out, and the speed at which they were moving was just very unrealistic to me. To me, I couldn't help but get wrapped up in it. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, knowing in real life I am the exact opposite. I am a turtle. But like the way that they were speeding through and like speeding through these milestones and like moving through this relationship, I was here for it, okay? And like I said, I just really enjoyed them. I look, this spice was spicing in the best way. You know what I'm saying? We love a sapphic black book. And I didn't know if I wanted Phoenix with the orange locks and the muscles or if I want an Angel with her little glasses and her little crochet sweaters that she did herself. Or is it knit? Is that the same thing? I don't know. But she made them sweaters, her little cardigans herself. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Both, actually. So, I think this is a great short, also romance. And I had the best time. I rated this a 4.5 star. It wasn't a full five, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And, she will be getting recommended. And I'm happy that, I took a chance and read this. And I will definitely be picking up more Aricka Alexander because she did this, she did this. let us talk. I'm probably gonna scream, giggle, all the things about Sweet Heat because Bolu Babalola did what needed to be done. Okay, okay. I look. I'm gonna try to give you thoughts that make sense as I talk about this book, but I look. I'm gonna try, and that's all I can do. So let us talk about what this book is even about before I hop, skip, jump over to telling you what I think about it, because that's all I'm really concerned about. So, Sweet Heat is a follow up to Honey and Spice. I absolutely love the way that Bolu Babalola wrote this book. I feel like the writing was just beautiful. It was also funny and relatable. And like, what more could you ask for out of a romance book? I was here for all the callbacks to Honey and Spice. Now, you don't necessarily have to read Honey and Spice before you read this book, but you need it for the lore. You need it for the lore. You need it for the inside jokes. It gives, like, if you know, and you only know if you have read Honey and Spice. And other than that, though, I don't think you would be confused. I think you could go into this not having read that and still enjoy it just as much, in my opinion. But what I will say, even though I loved the writing in this, Bolu gave us chapters that were 30 and 40 pages long. And I'm like, sis, I'm with you, but I'm the type of person who likes to take breaks at chapters. Like, I don't really like stopping in the middle of a chapter. And that's a hard thing to do when the chapters are 30 and 40 pages long, sis. Like, if I had any complaint about this book, it would be that. Like, I would have you just break it up a little bit more for me. But that's not even a complaint because I don't care. I still ate this book up. Like, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Let me talk about Grown Malachi. Grown Malachi has very high potential of being added to the very short list of book boyfriends that I have. Okay, because his very first scene, his entrance into the book, I was like, cause don't talk to me like that, but also like, maybe do. Maybe you can, but the things that Malachi was saying and doing, like, sir, quit playing with me. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Kiki and Kai's banter was one of my favorite things in Honey and Spice. And when I tell you, it just got better with age, just like they did. Like, I was loving it. I was eating it up. They had me laughing, giggling, like blushing, all the things. All the things. As I was reading this book, there were moments where I'm just like, it's so beautiful. And also, it was so beautiful and heartbreaking, the situation with Kai and Kiki, and I just felt like suspended in the moment with them at times, and just like lost right along with them. And like, I I don't know how Bolu wrote this, but like, girl, I will keep singing the praises about the writing in this book, because it was just beautiful. And like I said, also heartbreaking, and just like, oh my God, like, I just got lost in this writing because sis did what needed to be done. I will say that if you haven't picked it up by now, this is a second chance romance, okay? And the will they, won't they, the back and the forth of it all did get a tad bit annoying to me, as it always does. Like, any kind of back and forth will eventually get on my nerves, just because I'm not a back and forth type of person, and I can't really, that's just a personal preference of mine. So I can't really fault them. And as they were going back and forth, I felt it with them, because I'm like, no, but then I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, no, like, so I mean, I was right there in it with them for sure. I'm like wholeheartedly, fully obsessed, all caps, with this book. And I'll be screaming and yelling and crying and throwing up about this book. Y'all are about to, like, you think you sick of hearing me talk about Fabel and Maggie Gray, and no. That's not even gonna match how sick y'all are gonna be of hearing me talk about Sweet Heat. If you can't tell, I rated this book 5 stars. 5 stars, maybe probably my best book of the year. Like I can't even. And you know what pisses me off about this book? Now I'm gonna like a goofy bitch because I sit and rant and talk about how much I hate second chance romances. And my favorite book of 2025, possibly one of my favorite books of all time, is a freaking second chance romance. And Bolu Babalola did that to me. Do you know how goofy I'm gonna sound? Being like, I don't like second chance romances. I actually hate second chance romances. And then one of my favorite books is a second chance romance. Like I make it make sense. Make it make sense. But I'm just gonna sound goofy because I cannot express how much I love this book, how much I love Kiki, how much I love Kai. Like I absolutely am obsessed with this book. One of the best things I've ever, and I know you're tired of hearing me talk about it now, so I'm gonna stop because I can just keep going on and on and on and on and on. And this is my baby. This is my baby. We go together real bad. We go together real bad, and yeah, yeah. Hey, so this is what had happened. I had filmed everything for Best Text Ever, and then for some kind of reason, I think I deleted it, or it got deleted, or whatever the case may be, baby, it's gone. And my feelings are hurt that I'm having to do this a second time. And I filmed it a while ago because I read this book. It was in my September and October wrap up, and you see Christmas decorations behind me. So bear with me, y'all. I I don't know. No, we're gonna get through this together, okay? Let me get my handy dandy iPad out so I can refresh myself on this synopsis here so I'm not lying to you. All right, so as a skilled kitchen witch, Dina knows her way around a pastry recipe. In fact, she runs her very own London cafe, serving magic-infused treats. However, only a select few friends know about her magical abilities or the hex that has plagued her love life. It's hard to fall in love when your partner is guaranteed to have a string of bad luck the moment they develop feelings for you. Scott has returned from global travels, thrilled to embark on his new journey as a curator at the British Museum. After leaving London 2 years ago to recover from a devastating breakup, Scott realizes how much he has missed out on. With his best friend's wedding approaching, Scott is determined to be the best man ever. Little does he expect to be enchanted by the maid of honor, who is not only the owner of his new favorite cafe, but also a witch. During a weekend in the countryside filled with peculiar hedge mages, palm readings by candlelight, and a midnight Halloween ritual, there is no denying the chemistry between them. But there's just one problem. The hex still holds, and Dina knows that Scott is in danger. In the past, she has always chosen to cut her losses, but this time feels different. Scott could be the one. Will Dina be able to undo the hex before it is too late? Now, this was a very good transitional read. I think if you're looking for something to take you from fall to winter, this will be that. I also think it's just a good winter read, period. There's a Christmas section happening as well as a Halloween section, I think. So overall, I think it's just good for this time of year, period. Any of the bird months will work. And I really enjoyed this book. I was very surprised at how much I liked this book, so much so that I thought it was going to be like 4.55 stars. And then we hit the point where we actually find out the truth about the hex and all of that, and that was a disappointment to me. And because the hex is such a large part of the story, it's literally in the title, I feel like I had to dock it down a star simply, well, half a star, simply because I didn't like the main part that was going on. So I ended up rating this a 4 star. I like the chemistry between Scott and Dina. I think it is insta-lovey, very much so, but I thought it was cute, and it gave believable to a certain extent. the magic wasn't necessarily explained in this, and it almost felt like magical realism, kind of. Like, I feel like if you're not explaining the magic and it's like witchy, it can almost lean towards magical realism. But you know, whatever. I did like and was surprised by the conversations about museums and them stealing artifacts, people, and other things that do not belong to them and hoarding them in their museums instead of giving them back to, well, look, they shouldn't have taken it in the first place, but if you're gonna take it, at this point you need to be giving people back their stuff. And Scott was all for making sure things were returned to the people they belong to, and I was very happy to see that, because I was skeptical about him being a museum curator when we went into this, but I really liked the conversations surrounding that and the stance that the author decided to take. I think this was a cozy, fun time. And I'm pretty sure I had a lot more to say when I actually had my notes, but those were deleted as well because I had already filmed the clip. Y'all, it broke my heart. Like, I searched and searched and searched and could not find it. And like the way that took me out, and I literally, after the day I just had to lay down and take a nap. Like, that was the final straw for me. Like, I just closed my laptop and I literally fell asleep for like 3 hours because I was just hurt. I was hurt, I was annoyed, I was all the things. But here we are, friend. I think this is a great book. I will definitely recommend it to you, and I do look forward to reading more from Nadia El-Fassi in the future. So yeah, that's all I got, friend. Let's just yeah, let's just go on and finish up the rest of this video. Okay, y'all, let us talk about How About Forever. And I am very sad to come to you with not so good news. I am going to have to DNF. What? I am deciding to DNF this book. I am on page 110 at 59% in, and I'm going to put it out. So let me tell you what this is about. We follow Roman and Giselle, who promised each other just one night to explore the attraction simmering between them from the moment they met. Trying to take things any further would be more complicated than either of them wanted to risk, so they both agree that their explosive night of passion wouldn't spill over beyond that. Couldn't. When they are finally in the same place again, both Roman and Giselle realize one night would have never been enough. So how about forever? But what happens when neither time nor distance can dull the fire ignited between them? So I started reading this. I love Rousey Adams and her novellas. So, you know, sometimes when I just need something a little quick, I will pick them up, and I think the lowest rated from her is a 3.5 star. And I tried to keep pushing through this one, and I kept trying because I just love Rousey Adams so much, and it just like hurt my heart that I wasn't connecting with this one as much. And I kept trying and kept trying. Eventually I was like, if this was anything else by any other author, I would have set it down. So, and you know, just because I didn't connect with one thing by an author doesn't mean that, you know, they're off my favorites list or anything like that. So yeah, and here's the thing. Rousey is a good spicy time. Okay? While there are plots to her stories, and that's what I like the most about them, it's not just spice. The whole time you do get some plot. I feel like this one did not have a plot. And we are following Roman and Giselle. They hooked up one night, and Roman decided that, you know, he liked Giselle and wanted to offer her more, and Giselle freaked out and ran away, literally. And they haven't seen each other in a couple of years. Giselle has been avoiding him, but then they get together for this weekend with their friends, and sparks are still there, okay? And Giselle is that type of self-aware that's very annoying, because it's like, okay, you know what you're doing. And I think that in a way is almost worse than not knowing, because you are just playing with this man. Like, 1 second you hate him, don't want to look at him, and then the next minute you about to go beat up a girl that he talking to. Why? Like, you don't want him, but you don't want nobody else to have him either. Please don't make me sour with a man, Giselle. Please don't. Like, that was just really irritating to me because she knew that she wanted that man and knew that he wanted her, but was playing in everybody's face and hurting her own feelings for what? You're hurting your own feelings because you're scared of getting your feelings hurt. Ow. What? Make it make sense, friend, because it's not. And I also felt like this was smut. And there's no problem with it, but like this was so much. I felt like once they started, it just thought it was continuous back to back to back to back to back, longer scenes, and it was just a lot of sexy time in public. And okay, that's fine for like once, but y'all are continuously doing this in public. I ain't here to yuck anyone's yum, but like it was just too much for me. Too much publicness, too much of it. I think it was my mood, and I just wasn't here for it. That wasn't what I was looking for. I wanted something with a little more plot to it than this one had, and that's all I got to really say about that. I think that if this is what you're looking for, friend, if that's what you're looking for, I think you're gonna have a good time. But it just wasn't what I was looking for in the moment, so I had to put it down, and I'm saddened by it. Will I go back to it one day? Maybe. I'm gonna say maybe. But for now, baby, it's a DNF. So yeah, that's it, that's all. And now we are going to wrap up this romance reading vlog. So let's talk about what we read. We read Sweet Heat. 5 stars. 5 stars. A million stars. Okay, a million stars. Then we moved on to Where There's Smoke. 4.5. 4.5. Excellent. Excellent. Then we read I can't even say the title. Best Hex Ever. 4 stars. Really good book. Had a great time with that. And then unfortunately, we had to end off on How About Forever being a DNF. But I think, you know, I would probably still tell you to give that a shot if it sounds good to you. And so friends, that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for staying to the end, for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, anything that you do to support me and my channel. Friend, I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, seriously. So I hope that you have the best day that you possibly can. Remember to take care of yourself, and you know what, I'll catch you in the next video.